I've just seen someone on TikTok, some young lefty podcaster who always has a lot to say about Palestine and that it's, it should be and it must be recognised as a state. You get it every day. But on the one day like today, where people have been stabbed to death in an act of terror, this same person has said, well, we must never forget that Palestine, is now a recognised state, and it's a shame that the people of Palestine and those Palestinians that were harmed today weren't given the same coverage as the attacks on the Jewish community today. I mean, for God's sake, where'd you get off, mate? This is an attack that happened here in the UK. Innocent people were stabbed to death from the Jewish community. We don't know those people that stabbed to death, what their thoughts and ideas were about Palestine. All we know is that people's loved ones have been stabbed. And again, we have people like this, these young lefty students that love to remind me of critical thinking, etc., coming out with this sort of bias and hate on today, making it about Palestine. It's not about Palestine. It's about people in this country, whatever faith you're from, being stabbed to death on a day that should be sacred in their religion. So this is why left-wing politics should not be taught at schools or colleges, because we're getting this type of ignorance from these young lefties. These idiots wouldn't even last a week in Palestine. They wouldn't understand what it would be like living under Hamas. They have no idea, and they have this hate for Israel, even though never moving there, living there. And there seems to be this. I'm very much see it as on the cusp of anti-Semitism or racism. Because it seems to be this very fine line hate. As long as you just press on the Israel hate scale, you're kind of more or less on the anti-Semitism scale as far as I'm concerned. And these young left-wing kids, you're biased, you're moronic, and none of you have a clue. None of you have a clue. You're biased. I mean, to come out of that type of nonsense today, my love really go out to the Jewish community in the UK, and you're all very loved and you're all very wanted and welcomed here.